He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the LSRL F1 Round 8 live from Magny Cours in France. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by the one, the only, the one, the Mr. Mighty Dean Biggles here this evening. And we are at Magny Cours circuit in France. Current track length 4.41 kilometres, 2.741 miles, 17 turns, and believe it or not, track record of a 1:15.377 set by the great Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari F 2004. Clearly, as the name says, back in 2004. This circuit's been active since 2003 to the present day. And then after that, it's had 4 or 5 configurations before we got here. So there we go. So tonight it hosts the LSRL F1 W12 Series. 15 minutes of qualifying, then we got a 3-lap sprint, grid determined by the quali. Then we got a brief little warm-up before we go into the feature race. And I think you're going to admit it's going to be absolutely epic. And let's bring in Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth. Good evening, young sir. How are you?
Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the world. Welcome, everybody, to Central France. Exactly, James. You had picked up on a couple of points here. We're about halfway through the season as well. But you know the reason why Michael Schumacher in 2004 set the fastest time?
No, go on.
Because he used a unprecedented 4-stop pit stop strategy during that race. 4 pit stops. Therefore, fresher tires, set the fastest lap because of that. And on top of that, the great legend himself, Michael Schumacher, is the only man to win every single Formula One GP of total of 8 times that have been held here at this circuit.
Nice. Wow.
How's that?
Wow.
So at the moment, Mr. Nathan, J Smart, Elliot Borg, guys, you need Schumacher in your name. And you probably have a pretty good statistics of winning this circuit there. Neves Magny Cours, if I can pronounce that one correctly. James, you're closer to France than I am. You should get that one right.
Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours. So there we go. I think we'll go with that one. But it has held the World Superbike, or currently holds the World Superbike, and the Alpine Alf Europa Cup and the FFSA GT. Did stop holding the Formula One in 2008, mind you, apparently. So
yeah, Bernie Eccleston switched it over to Paul Ricard, as you know. And now it's leaving Paul Ricard, as you know, as well.
Yes, there's a lot going on. But welcome in if you are here this evening. Don't forget, guys, as well, you can subscribe, turn on the bells, and give the video a big old thumbs up, because that would be absolutely amazing. What we will do is have a look at the current championship standings. So we've got Jay Smart from the Clutches of Wales team on top on 93 points. Elliot Borg on 81. John Silver on 77. Burt Rubber Racing there. Mac Miller is in 4th on 76. Dylan Gonez in 5th. Carl Halitsky, apparently. Halitsky not as I was saying it before for the previous 7 rounds. On 51 with Ryan O'Connor on 51 as well. Daniel Johnson 48, Steve Baker 48, Tamas Poniati on 46, Mason Sagar 44, Steve Rubens 43, Lindsay Green on 42, and Michael Kostick and Zachary Kokis on 37 points. Then beyond that, we've got Nathan Graham on 34 and Anthony Giuliano on 28. Now, in the team championships, we got Burnt Rubber Racing on 108 with the Clutches of Wales team. Only 7 points back on 101 with Scudiera Andromeda also on 101. Bull Shift Racing on 97. Cobalt Racing on 96. Shyline Racing on 78. Victorious Secrets on 76. Broken Wings Racing on 64. And the Blue Ballers on 63. So all very close in the current championship standings there. You can see them on your screen. And as you can see, Jake Smart is leading the way from Elliot Borg. So there we go. That's Jake Smart at the top of the standings there, Biggles. He's pushed on a bit from his Red Bull ring. Now, Jay apparently is on probation because, as you remember, at the Red Bull ring, he spun up at the start and caused a whole load of heap of chaos at the beginning that a lot of people were involved with as he pulled away there as well. So he is on probation. Apparently, the stewards have come out and said, no, you've got to be careful. So there we go, Jay Smart there has got to be careful because otherwise he could be in trouble this week with the stewards. So there we go. All very
Jay
dramatic.
Smart under the Lightspeed Racing League microscope at the moment, so Jay has to be a little bit more smarter about that one. And putting that one, 213 points, 212 to Elliot Borg, and 211 to John S. Silva, as you guys like to say it. But I'll tell you one thing right now, the drive that you're on, okay, I actually tweeted this one too, James, and I did tag, obviously, Lightspeed and yourself in this one. I think I tagged you, not Lightspeed, but anyway. What language do they speak in of El Francais? And what language do they speak in Canada? And who is the only Canadian driver on the grid?
Tyler
I'd say look
Gatke,
out.
French.
I say look out for Tyler. He's got a little bit of maybe home court advantage, per se, on this one for the Broken Wings Racing team. Come on, Tyler. You can do it, mate. You can, obviously, you have all the thousands of fans here in France. They're going to probably support you more than they would support the US drivers or even our John Colombian driver. Anyway, we'll see. Come on, Tyler. Get yourself a podium at least. I'm confident.
Well, let's see how they get on here. It should be an interesting one, I think, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to this one to see how the cars handle this circuit. It's not the most easiest. Biggles, isn't it? It's one that could cause a horrible. Yeah, it's a horrible circuit, to be honest. I drove around here in a TCR and that was bad enough. So I don't know how these guys are going to get on in this W12.
What do you reckon about the damn red coat that said, "What's up, boys? I beat you today." The damn red coat. But obviously, on top of that, yeah, we're going to go on board with a driver soon. You can actually see how difficult this track is. I'm not really refreshed with this track, as you know, James, because it's not on the Formula 1 calendar. Hasn't been on the Formula 1 calendar for some time. But I haven't really been here very often. And when I was watching the old school days of, Michael Schumacher, obviously have to be because he was the man that owned this track essentially, go around here, I was like, the off-track experiences, how fast they were. There's a V10, of course, so it was going, not like the V8s currently at the moment, but it's just so tricky. It's so technical. We'll obviously can see currently at the moment it's a warm-up laps. But anyway, who do you want to go on board with and who can be right on board to find out how to deal with this? See, right there, cut off to the left. That Michael Schumacher went straight over that, almost 4 wheels off the track back in the days of the 94 Ferrari. And you can see right now, bang into the fence as well.
Well, that was the man I was on board with, was Tyler Gatke there. I thought he was going to put a lap in for us. But let's have a look and see what Jay Smart can do and see how he gets on here. I think this circuit's going to catch... okay.
Oh, see, like that.
Come on,
the
boys.
chicanes,
What's
they're
going
so
on?
Difficult.
Well, Mason Sagar's gone across the line on a 1:15.2. So we've got currently Nathan Graham. He is on the way round turn 5. On the run up into 7. Again, another right left. There's the right, there's the left.
Yes, see how tough that is, man. That's like that's like the Beckett's chat and Chapel maggots on steroids at that point, isn't it? Like you have a fraction of a steering wheel angle to get that one right.
That's what I mean. I think from these guys' point of view, as we're going around 12 and 13 up into 14, you know, it's going to be tricky. They've got to be aware here. They've got this run down from 14 all the way down into 15 before they've got that little straight here and then this tricky chicane at the end.
Look at that! Look how quick that chicane is. It's like a bust up on steroids. And they've some time set in there. Look at the time difference as well, too, James. You got 13 down 16s. That's to show you how difficult this track is at the moment. Everybody's trying to navigate as they got 10 minutes left of qualifying. That it's so hard. You know, honestly, after seeing this track, I'm like, damn, can we, like, obviously we're not going to have Paul Ricard, unfortunately, anymore, but it's like, why did we have Paul Ricard? But we should have had this track. Imagine how exciting Formula One would have been if we had this track, although overtaking opportunities, that's something else to talk about.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be the interesting thing here, is how they're going to be able to get past people. I had a chat with Andy, who we were on board with before, and I said, do we think anybody's going to make the dive into that last chicane side by side? He turned around and went, no, but if there's gap and there's a car, there's a possibility.
Oh.
So
that's true.
So I think from
look at the track map. You can see this yourself, can't you, James? It's like essentially you're talking about so much of a technical sectors that, I mean, hairpins always great overtaking opportunities.
Yeah.
But just those twisty S's and so forth. In the chat there, Redcoat, welcome along, course. What do you think about this track? That's something I want to ask the drivers and the fans and everybody that's have perhaps driven it and any of the simulators before. Yeah, see running deep like that. James, we haven't seen this really all season long.
No.
So far, mate, you've barely got into a car during qualifying session, and almost everybody's made a mistake so far.
Well, we're on board with Carl Halitsky. Now, Carl did talk to me during the week and said that, you know, my name, if James gets my name right, then I'm happy for him to come in and have a chat with me. So I said to him, I thought I was, right, because it was pronounced Carl Hurlix before, and apparently the E is pronounced as an E, so it's Hurlisky and not Hurlix. Now, I didn't realise
that's what I've been saying the whole season.
Well, don't be Carl Hurlitsky. Don't be flash about it. You know what I mean? I'm British. We don't always get it right. As we can see here with
so
Tyler
James got
Gatke.
sent to the principal's office for a reprimand.
Yes.
I like that. Look at the climb up the hill as well too, James, right there. That's a good little elevation change you have in this track circuit, because it's basically don't look left, don't look right, don't look up, don't look down, because guarantee you there's barely any breathing space of straightaways. Yeah. That's the thing. There's really no straightaways. It's just curves, curves, curves. Even Redcoat said, it looks tough. It is tough, mate. We haven't seen a driver really put in, many drivers, but even put in some really decent laps. We've got a Nathan that a 12.7, and you're looking at Green down at a 16, and you know that's not the competitive times. It's just they can't get the time on the track right now because it's tricky.
Yeah, it definitely is. We're coming down into the hairpin of 5 on board with Carl Halitsky. He's going to love me if we keep saying his name. At least I get it correct. He'll love me for that. You know what I mean? I want to see how he goes through this last hairpin, though. He was struggling a little bit in practice.
I love the new graphics too, James, as well, too, for you've done. And Carl's up to P4, look at that. And you can see that to the left if anyone wants to know what car you're on. Look at the little icon there, the green icon next to the number. That'll tell you clearly who you want. Ellie Borg's on a flyer too, James. You want to go over to Ellie.
There we go.
Right on cue. Yeah, middle sector's good.
So
only a 3-sector track.
I do have to give a big shout out to the guys at SDK Live Timing for allowing me to use this wonderful it's an unreleased beta of the old style F1 graphics. So they've allowed me to bring it out and do a live test with it. So this is the first time it's actually been used live as well with the graphics. So a massive shout out to the guys at SDK there for allowing me to do that.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up. everybody out there. I love it, James, and it's exclusive, of course, because you are one of the best broadcasting. It will be the best broadcasting. I wouldn't say the best in the world just yet, James. I don't want to give you that much credit, but James May, you have given up your day job for this, and you're doing a fantastic job. Nathan's on a flyer too, mate.
Yeah, we're on board
Nathan
with
is you on board with right now. Yeah, so Purple Sector 1. Try to defend that 12.7. I'll tell you, at the moment, all he has to do is keep that tyres inside that racing tarmac, and he may very well look at him twitching on the steering wheel. It is even for Nathan pushing it right now.
Yeah, well, it was interesting to talk to some of these before, because I was having a chat with Jay Smart as well before, beforehand, and he was saying he reckons the starting format of tyres is going to be mediums, and then people will go onto the softs at the end. So that's what he's hoping will happen. Daniel B. Johnson there has got a green across the first two sectors at the same time. So we reckon medium soft. Smart said he's struggling a little bit. He's hoping to finish and get top 3 here tonight. So hopefully he will do that. He's feeling a little bit unconnected with the car and the race circuit. He can't just quite get the flow here at the moment. So Jay Smart there. And obviously the Blue Ballers, one of the things actually I want to point out as well is the Blue Ballers team of Anthony Giuliano and Carl Herlitzky. Now, you may think, actually, why are they blue when they're in a pink car? Now, their confession was there was too much blue on the grid through some of the other cars, so they decided to go for a Racing Point pink livery.
Oh,
so that's why
the BDT, whatever the
BWT.
Oh, the old
BMT?
racing. Yeah, Racing Point. Yeah.
So they've gone
exactly
for that. So if you're wondering why the Blue Ballers is pink and not blue, that's why they've decided that there was too much blue on the grid, and they've changed over as we go with John Silver here. He's got 2 greens currently at the moment. Currently on a 1:13.7, so he's going quicker. But let's see how much quicker he ends up going here. Seeing how he gets on as he bounces his way. I tell you what, in an actual Formula 1 car, that would be really quite uncomfortable.
You have to bounce your way over that final corner chicane, of course, because it's full high speed. That's probably one of the reasons why this track is not essentially at this point graded for Formula 1 these days, because of that fact that we just destroy the back of a driver and destroy the suspension at this point. They'd have to do something about the track changes. But anyway, it is a good point. It's good. He's in the 12 club, and that's got to be feeling good for the Colombian driver, that's for sure. I want to see about Tyler as well, too. Remember, I'm thinking the Canadian driver might have something up his sleeve in this one, but still too early to tell. But we have 3 minutes and change to go. So if you're going to get a hot lap in right now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lock-up at the moment you're seeing on your graphic, and that's just classic 101. It's a tight hairpin. Absolutely. You probably have to lock up, really, to put some speed. Look at the sensation of speed through that. As I said, going back to the 2004 days, mate, it makes me feel old as well as you, James. Like,
all right.
Schumacher just cut through straight through that chicane,
bro.
mate. He cut through that chicane.
Yeah, but you have to point it out.
You can't do that in iRacing.
Yeah, but did you have to say the last bit? You know, it makes you feel old. Of course it makes us feel old. You know what I mean? But we don't have to express the fact that we're old. That was almost nearly 20 years ago.
I'm just feeling old, mate, because I've been working today, and I don't really work. I've been working outside the computer. Having to go up ladders and stuff, yeah.
No.
Ducks in the pit lane. Look at the pit lane entrance, mate. 60 kilometers an hour, just like that. Did you see how difficult that would be to stop that car? Not to mention if you're looking at an overtaking opportunity into the final quarter there as well. Wow. I thought Spa was difficult. I thought many of the other tracks, Austria was difficult. Like, I mean, just a handful of picks of pit lane entrances that you would think that would be, you know, drivers briefing. They always talk about it at the start. Wow. I didn't even realize that. But I'm a noob to this track, mate, but so far I'm pretty hyped. I'm sure the drivers are not so hyped.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. I think, you know, last week's race at the Red Bull Ring, they were talking about it before from the likes of Fuji and Sebring and stuff like that, where it should have been a more straightforward, you know, racetrack Red Bull. It really wasn't. There was some interesting incidents there as well, and, you know, Elliott Ball took the sprint, Smart got second, Silver got third in the sprint. In the feature, it was Smart, Borg, O'Connor, but you know, for a racetrack that should have been so simple, turned out to be a completely different entity to here. And Nathan Graham has got a purple in the middle sector. He unfortunately didn't go quicker in the first two, but he goes quicker overall on a 1:12.649 here, Nathan Graham. Absolutely stunning job from him as well. Dylan Gonaz there joined the session from the Victorious Secrets team. Is currently on greens, obviously. Well, maybe not now. This is probably his first lap, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think this circuit's just going to be a nightmare for some of these drivers, to be honest. Some are going to love it, some are not. And I think that's the thing.
Well, for one, James, I mean, you and I, with the experience that we have casting for, like, you know, last couple of years, essentially, like, I really haven't been to this track very often. And you can just see how difficult it is for the drivers. I don't, even just hanging out with, you know, your mates in Discord channels when they do the iRacing, they race around certain events. I don't see many people ever racing around this track. So this is like a whole different ball game for a lot of the drivers here this evening. It's probably going to come down to who's practiced the most and like race conditions as well. It may very well be the key, because I'm expecting mistakes from a lot of the drivers across the board here during the race, full race.
Well, it's new into iRacing this season. I have expected it to appear on certain series, and I know there was a TCR series that I covered that was here as well. They did it on a TCR. Now, that was actually quite interesting in a TCR. It didn't actually lend to that bad racing in a TCR, but I think in the W12 it's going to be even more interesting to see how it pans out. Elliot Borg's come across the line there as well, 1:13.076, and that is the end of qualifying. Yeah, we will bring you up.
Well, TCR, you said touring cars, mate. They're going to go wheel to wheel the whole way. Here you go. This is grid, mate. You want to go through that?
Yeah, Nathan Graham is in first place on a 1:12.649. John Silver from Scudiera Andromeda on just a little bit back from him as well. Jay Smart in third, Elliot Borg fourth, Daniel Johnson fifth, Ryan O'Connor sixth, Carl Herliski in seventh, Anthony Giuliano eighth, Mason Sagar ninth, Tamas Boniatti in 10th, Steve Rubens in 11th, and Dylan Gonaz down in 12th place. Then beyond that is Tyler Gatke 13th, Lindsey Green 14th, Michael Kostick 15th, and Sean Atkins is currently in 17th place. As we go round Nathan Graham's car there as well.
Three-lap shootout, James.
Yep.
Three-lap shootout will determine the grid for the next race. So here we go. This is going to be very, very crucial. James, are you excited? I'm excited. Welcome to LA Lightsuit Racing.
Yeah, here we go now. The lights are off. It is Nathan Graham, and we are away here at Magny Cours as they start leading us down into turn one and around that tricky turn two, turn three. And Nathan Graham has got the jump right at the beginning here. And a few cars is off. Ryan O'Connor is off. He's behind that wall. I guarantee you he's behind that wall. Mason Sagar as well has gone down.
Elliot Borg.
Yeah.
Yes.
That famous,
Top Guns are on trouble, mate.
Yeah, that famous word we write down early on in the piece of racing note sheet I have, chaos. That's it.
It's survival, I think, these 3 laps, isn't it? It's survival. You got people like Ryan out. You got Tyler's going off. Elliot Borg's going off again. I don't know what's going on, but Nathan, what a launch. What a fantastic launch. Got 1 second gap already. He's got Jay Smart and Mr. John Silver up for, and Mr. Johnson as well. Generally, Johnson's a newcomer in town. I think at least a newcomer in town on the top of the grid sheet.
Top of the timing sheets, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have a look back at that. There was a lot of people involved with that. Tyler Gatke, Elliot Borg, Ryan O'Connor, Carl Herliski, Mason Sagar, all involved as well. We will have a look back. I will try and get back at this incident to see where it happened very, very quickly, because I do want to see it again here.
And we'll keep an eye on Dylan, mate. Dylan's not going to run, I think, very, very close if we go over that replay. Now, a mistake about that one. I thought there was only one Canadian driver in this, but there is another Canadian driver in here. This is the man you're on right now for the Victoria's Secret. Making a run. Actually got an easy-peasy car cruise on by that. That must be a lift for sure there. What's happened with Kyle or Anthony?
Yeah, Kyle Liskey there letting him through. Not entirely sure why, but he did. Sean Atkins has also had an incident and is hitting the pits. You can see them at the bottom there. Borg, Atkins, O'Connor and Gatke all in the pits on this 3-lap shootout. I want to see from the chopper at the beginning on this green flag here. I do want to try and get that in if we can.
You got to do it now, James, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're about 1 lap ago.
I'm on it now.
Oh, bog downs.
Look at Ryan O'Connor. He got a flyer. Oh,
there must be a tap.
Contact report.
Yes.
Sager. Where did Atkins there as well? He just made it through. Tyler Gatke got caught by the spinning Mason Sager, who was coming back across there. Very tricky, very tricky.
Well, it's a sprint race. We've seen it before, James. They were going to go. You're going to gamble for a lot of things at the start. I don't think Nathan has to worry about at the moment. It should be easy peasy down the road here and take this one. It's I think whether or not the climbing driver of John could do anything about it. He's 7/10 down the road, but also a big fumble happening in P12 and P11 for that P9 position. But on the last lap, mate, I think at this point you got to just follow the leader and take it easy. Well, think about Green, but Mr. Lindsay Green maybe making a run. He was for a second. It's so much to look at. But for now, I think it's a matter of following the leader. Just play it safe. Because you're thinking about the feature race, aren't you? This is a sprint race, so you got to think more about your position for the feature race coming up anytime soon.
Yeah, they all will be on the soft tyres here. So seeing how they get on, but it is Nathan Graham who's going to come round the final part of the race. There he is. Nathan Graham's going to come across the line here in first place in the sprint. It's going to be John Silver, then Jay Smart, Daniel Johnson, Tamas Boniadi, and then we got Steve Rubens, Dylan Gonaz, and then Carl Haliski behind him. And then Michael Kostick will come over the line behind that. Lindsay Green in third place with Mason Sagar in fourth, and then Elliot Borg further back in 12th. Ryan O'Connor is back out on track, mind you. So a big shout out to Ryan O'Connor there. But that was a very somewhat scrappy start. Giuliano also got himself involved in that one as well. So I'll try and have a quick chat with Ryan O'Connor before we go on there as well. I think it was mainly Elliot Borg that tagged O'Connor. I think he's going to wait for O'Connor, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, he has crossed the line. And there goes Ryan O'Connor as well. So, yeah, not an ideal start, but it was a little bit scrappy. So let's bring you up the results here from the sprint. So we've got Nathan Graham in first, John Silver second, Jay Smart third, Daniel Johnson fourth, Tamas Boniati in fifth, Steve Rubens sixth, Dylan Gona seventh, Carl Halitsky in eighth, Michael Kostick ninth, Lindsay Green in 10th, Mason Sagar in 11th, Elliot Borg 12th, Anthony Giuliano 13th, Ryan O'Connor 14th, Sean Atkins down in 15th place. They're rounding out our grid this early on. Not the greatest of starts for some of these drivers. And let's have a chat. Where are you, young sir? I want to... he's not there. There's Ryan O'Connor. Let's move Ryan O'Connor.
Yeah, well, I was going to say as well, too.
Yeah,
because, we get Ryan. Let's get Ryan in here, mate.
Yeah.
Ryan, of course, sixth in the championship, gained 4 positions, tied 6th at the moment with Kyle, but at the moment, mate, didn't quite look like the race that you wanted at the start of this one.
Not the start. Thankfully, the feature's a long event. I got on the radio and I said, I think that was all my fault, guys. And Elliot was like, nope, I rear-ended you. And then I looked back at the replay and it happens. So
going forward, though, what are we expecting? You know, the start, don't get me wrong, was scrappy, but what are we expecting going forward from you?
For me tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can get back in the top 10, I should be pretty happy since I'm starting, P14 now. So that'll be a win for me. Grid's pretty tough tonight, so we'll see.
See what happens overall there, but you know, not the greatest round one. You in the sprint, you did finish at the end though. You come back out on track. Oh, that was, you know, very honourable of you because most people would have just stayed where they were.
You know, I was thinking about just packing it in, but you know, and keeping the grid position just where it was at. But I figured, you know what? I was getting bored, so I just went back out there.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth there, buddy. And I shall move you back down into your team chat when I can find you.
Into his car, hopefully, James.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get me back in my car. No, I'm kidding.
I'll put you back
I
in.
think it needs to be in his car.
See, God blimey, come and give me grief. But there we go. Ryan, have a good one, mate, and we'll see you on the other side.
You as well.
All right, there goes Ryan.
Hopefully not on the other side of the fence, James. Hopefully on the side of the fence.
Can we
Anyway.
grab Elliot Borg really quickly?
Well, I want to actually.
No, we got Elliot in chat. Now listen, Elliot, welcome in. Slight incident at the beginning.
Yeah, I was just running into Shyline to apologize. So that was not cool.
Was
That
that
my fault.
That was all you?
Well, so Ryan got a stonking start.
Mm.
Yeah, so I did not expect him to check up as much as he did, considering that corner is normally flat. So yeah, and I would like to say there's net code, but from my view, it looked like I just caught his right rear or his left rear.
You did catch his right rear. Involved in that was Carl Halitsky, Elliot, obviously yourself, Tyler Gatke, Mason Sagar, and Ryan O'Connor. So, you know, you got, what did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly a strike, Elliot. Can we get 10 on the feature? What do we reckon?
I'm not looking for a spare.
I hope not as well. But Elliot, thank you so much for joining me. Have a good feature race, buddy, and we'll catch up with you at the end.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, James, I think if Elliot keeps his nose clean. Can we talk to Nathan real quick? Because I actually thought Nathan's performance is brilliant, considering he's basically 16th in the championship. Didn't have a good race last time around, lost a couple of points.
No, because I don't know where he is. He's not here. He's not in. He's not in a chat. I don't.
All right. Well, maybe we'll talk to Nathan if he wins the race later on, for sure.
Yeah,
We'll see about that one.
Yeah, I did want to.
But yeah, big surprises, isn't it, James?
Yeah, I think it was interesting to see that. You know, look, Elliot's a fair play, right? He's come out and said, "Hey, that was all me." You know what I mean? He hit Ryan O'Connor. Ryan O'Connor went round, and then behind that, Hurlitsky, you know, Gatke, Sager, there was just nowhere for anyone to go, and it was just complete and utter chaos. As we come into the last, 40 seconds of the warm-up, Sean Atkins is out on track as well. Obviously had his own troubles in race one, so did Anthony Giuliano. So, you know, they've all been a little bit involved in the world here in Magny Cours. It's a tough track. It's no debates about it. It's a tough circuit, isn't it?
Oh, you better believe it is. You can already see the incidents, and I expect to see hopefully less incidents going into the first couple of turns after the, you know, we always see that during the sprint race. People are going to take a little bit more gambles than they take. But when it comes to the race day, in the feature day, they're going to take a little bit less. I do think at the moment, James, whoever gets a great launch from P1 could dominate this race. It seems to be a very difficult track to overtake. We haven't really seen the overtakes yet. We haven't had a chance to see the overtakes yet, the DRS activations. But I do believe, as we just saw in the sprint race, how quickly he can get away. A couple seconds gap by lap 3. If Nathan can dominate this one, I think it's gonna be his. It's gonna be up to obviously Mr. John S. Silver.
Now, grid is up on the screen there as well. Sorry to cut you off, but they do get on the grid quite quickly. Nathan Graham in first, John Silver second, Jay Smart third, Daniel Johnson fourth, Tamas Boniatti in fifth, Steve Rubin sixth, Dylan Godo seventh, Carl Halitsky in eighth, Michael Kostic ninth, Lindsay Green in 10th, Mason Sagar in 11th, Elliot Borg down in 12th, Anthony Giuliano 13th, Ryan O'Connor 14th, Sean Atkins 15th, and Tyler Gatke down in 16th place. So there we go. Right, carry on, Biggles. You haven't got long, mind you, but carry on quick.
No, I'm just going to say carry on because it's all about carrying on to control yourself against the track. James, the light's going to go out. What's going to happen?
Here we go. The lights are out now, and it is Nathan Graham again. Off the start, Jay Smart in second place there. There was a Dylan Gonaz. Oh, that was one of the blue ballers. Carl Halitsky. Elliot Borg has gone round by the looks of it. Michael Kostic's out. Lindsay Green. Carl Halitsky is out. Sean Atkins manages to make it round this time as well, but it was a bit of a squeeze. Steve Rubens, Anthony Giuliano, Tamas Boniatti, Sean Atkins, Mason Sagar, Tyler Gatke, Daniel Johnson, all involved in this one. And we got Johnson, Halitsky and Green all in the pits. Not the greatest of starts again.
Not at all. We didn't expect it too much. As Ryan's going to be making a move right now, Mason Sagar. Very, very close at the moment. He has to because Sean Atkins is right behind them. So we'll see where this teammate is going to be at play. Mediums versus softs. We're talking about that earlier, and there it is. So Mason Sagar, Elliot Borg up the road, and Ryan O'Connor Ryan O'Connor really trying at the moment, but Ryan O'Connor crosses on the mediums. I'd expect to probably start on the mediums, but here it is. That's what it is. We'll get back to that one. So, oh, go off the track there's Mason Sager. That's not the way you want to be allowing your teammate to overtake. In fact, you've allowed a lot more teams to overtake there. Mason Sager now dropping down to P10, maybe 11.
Yeah, not an ideal here. We have 39 laps of this circuit, and that really isn't an ideal start for Mason Sager, especially as he's one of the few on softs. Dylan Gonaz, Sean Atkins, Mason Sager are the soft runners currently. Sean Atkins here trying to push up to the back of Ryan O'Connor. Obviously, the medium softs was going to be the preference. It looks like we could see some soft mediums, some soft hard runners maybe. But it is down to Sean Atkins from Victoria's Secrets to try, and really he's got to pass O'Connor early, hasn't he? He's got to get this job done so we can start moving up down the road.
Yeah, I'd make use of the tyres exactly, James. But where is the question? No, Darius, look at the different speed all through there. I told you it's about 1 degree angle if you're lucky to try to get those crazy S's here in France. And they are. So you're going to be tucked up with the gearbox. Also, keep an eye. Maybe making a run here, James. Look at that's going to be sweeping over to your left hand.
Done.
Yep, done. And I also keep an eye on Jay Smart. He's keeping Nathan honest. And that's the thing to be looking out for later. Not right now, but he's keeping within a second. The DRS activation will be coming up a little bit soon. And he doesn't want to let Nathan, because I did say this at the start of the show there, James, that if you do allow the driver to get too far up the road there from P1, I think that's just a victory waiting for you. As long as the driver does not make a mistake. Look at the action pack here, currently. The battle for P6, essentially.
Yeah, I'm expecting Tamas Boniatti to try and move up to the back of Tyler Gatke here. Gatke's got O'Connor in front of him, and O'Connor's got Atkins in there as well. As I say, there are people back out on the track. Steve Rubens has come back out as well. He was involved in that incident. There was no fewer than 7 cars involved at that beginning. 7 cars involved at the beginning there as well. Tyler Gatke currently sitting in 8th. He has got Tamas Boniatti right behind him currently at the moment. And I tell you how close he is. He's that close. There is Tamas Boniatti. Oh, Boniatti got a little bit squirrely there. Coming out of turn 10 and 11 on this run down into the tricky right-left there. There we go, straight the way through. And round turn 14 we go, or Chateau d'Eu, as they call it on the track map.
Chateau. Yeah, James, I think at this point, because you don't have the DRS activation or really even the tyre difference, at this point, because the track is so tricky, I think the drivers are just waiting for somebody to make a mistake and capitalizing on it, just like that. Like, he could easily do that. And I believe that's all you need to do at the moment. Follow the driver. Don't even worry about an overtaking place. Just worry about where the driver goes a little bit too deep in a corner. That's what this track is going to produce right now, and that's what I would be doing as a race driver.
Yeah, I think from that point of view, I'd probably be looking at the same here as well. We've got Anthony Giuliano. He is trying to chase down Michael Kostick there as well. Blue Ballers, Broken Wings Racing. Anthony Giuliano, DRS wide open around that run from 3 through down to 5. This tricky hairpin 5 there before they get on the power again. Of course, Giuliano on the mediums, Kostick on the mediums. Rubens, Hurlitzky and Johnson on the hards, but they've already pitted. Biggles, I think that's going to be the interesting thing there as well for these guys. As we can see, Anthony Giuliano there as well, over his sector times from Michael Kostick in front. Kostick a little bit slower this time around. And Lindsay Green is in the pits here. I think Lindsay Green is going to be ditching off onto the hard tyres from the mediums, I would have thought. So we'll see how that one gets on. But Giuliano and Kostick.
Yeah, keep an eye on 9 and 10. That's an exchange for sure.
Yeah,
9 and 8, my apologies. There it is. Got him on the corner. Got to make it stick, but the rest of it. And just like that, look how the spread of the times are. You got 3-second gaps, 2-second gaps, 5-second gaps, 3-second gaps. But just like that, James, you see just one little runoff, one little corner, which you've seen before. All that is changed. Dylan Gonis has also gone off somewhere as well, too.
Oh,
how much time has he lost?
He's dropped down the order.
Oh, he did lose about 5 seconds there, James, as well, too, I think, to Sean Atkins. So he went wide, just as I was talking about going wide. It's exactly what the drivers do. This is a battle of attrition right now against the track, not the drivers. To me, as an engineer, I would say, forget the cars on the track right now. You need to tackle this track first and then worry about an overtake later.
Where's your money on?
I told you the race leader. I think Nathan. I think the race leader on this one doesn't have anything to worry about later on.
Yeah.
As long as your money is on whoever can conquer the track. It's like conquering Mount Panorama. You've got to just focus on the remaining 34 laps of this race and just deliver that. If you can deliver that, you can win a race.
All right. So
if you make a mistake, you're in trouble.
All right. So why then is the likes of Parfitt, Magny Cours more difficult than Parfitt? Why is these circuits more? These guys mastered Parfitt. There was only one incident in the corkscrew, and Ryan O'Connor was responsible for that. Why is Parfitt so
that's Ryan off. I'll give you the answer to that question there, James. Practice. Bathurst has been around for a very long time in iRacing. This track is not. And I believe that's the reason why. It's practice.
So you reckon that despite the car, these guys should be able to master Bathurst better than they can Magny Cours?
Yeah, because they know Bathurst. They've driven at GT3 cars, they've driven at F1 cars, driven at anything. LMP2s, hypercars. They've probably all done that. But have they done this track? It doesn't look like it. We saw it in the practice session. We saw it in the qualifying session. Mistakes made. And trust me, because it's a difficult track. You can't blame them, and that's practice because the track is relatively new to iRacing. So how much time is put in? I told you. The people that I hang out all the time that do iRacing, and they race all the time, every day, every week. I can jump into a Discord right now. They'll be racing some track. They don't race this track, James. That's the thing. They don't race this track.
Okay, so listen. I see great purpose in practicing, right? And I get it now. Driving in the league this season, I fully understand that practice is important, right? But I can't see.
See that late braking and locked up, and Mason actually probably, if anything, just completely swerved to the left there to avoid gearboxing the rest of the field. We'll get that replay of that one in a second, but I think Mason was actually clever on that one to not destroy the opponents.
Yeah, I think he was trying to avoid the people in front of him.
Yeah, that's why he went off to the left. You kind of get an idea on that one. See, that's exactly what he did. Good on you, Mason. Actually, you had to bin your car into the gravel track and into the fence, but that's very, very great driving you see in your Lightspeed Racing League, mate. That's to show you I'd rather take myself out than take 2 or 3 cars out.
Yeah, well, he definitely did that, unfortunately. Ryan O'Connor is still under pressure from Boniatti here, with Gatkin closing it in behind him as well. Don't forget, they have got to make a pit stop for tyres. And I can tell you who has done that already. Steve Rubens, Carl Halitsky, Daniel Johnson, and Lindsay Green. So the 4 back runners have switched over to the hard, so it probably should get them to the end. Now, the initial thought was medium softs. You can see Gonaz and Atkins are on the softs with Sagar as well. Sagar's not really made great use of his tyres, though, Biggles, because that's not the first time he's been off. So, Mason Sagar's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, I would have started on the mediums on this track because the soft tyres are too pacey, and it seems to me the pace is not the key around here. It's kind of like the tortoise, really, because the curbs, the chicanes are really tough here. It's the track itself. It's just difficult to balance it properly. The tire difference make a massive difference if you're so good. Like if we go around Monza right now, my friend, I guarantee you every one of these drivers can utilize the maximum out of their tires. But coming around this track, I don't think so. I think the hards are going to be just as play as the mediums and the softs, if anything. Well, if you run off the chicanes too much, a little bit later, that's going to come into play. Either way, Nathan has a 4-second gap there over Jay Smart, and Silva has a 4-second. So they're a little bit of a league of their own. That's the medium tires. They've got great pace, mate. They're lapping the 14s. So these guys in the soft tires, they're late. Sorry, these guys are lapping 13s. These guys are lapping 14 lates in the soft tires. So there's no difference in tire strategy whatsoever at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to think where I would put my money at the moment, especially not with Elliot Borg, John Silver mixing it up here as well in 3rd and 4th. Obviously, Elliott is up 8 places, Atkins up 9. So fair play to them guys. There is the gainers and losers on the left-hand side there as well. Tyler Gatke 7, Atkins 9, Borgs 8. That's not bad. Not bad gains at all, really.
Great for Borg. Absolutely great. Can you go back in a second then, James, if we have a minute to go look at the race start? Because I want to see how it all panned out, because it all, once again, turned a little bit bell-shaped. A little bit of kerfuffle. Town meeting. Turn 1, turn 2. As you'd be expected to see in the past. We saw that in the first sprint race. I would like to see that, because we have a bit of a gap in the race. I apologize if there is an overtake. We can go back and look at that one later. But I want to see the start. That's the crucial. Who bogged down, James? That's probably the key. Look at the smoke of the rear tires. There it is. See right there? From P2. Oh, and then you're going full wide in here. We saw what happened before in the sprint race, and there it is again, James. Look at that pile up.
Yep, Steve Rubens involved in the majority of that one. But if we have a look at that a little bit slower, because that was kind of over and done with before we got there. But if you have a look...
Oh, it was, because I just saw... So, look at in P2, bogged down, that bring everybody else into play. That's typically what happens in a motor race, and that's your Mercedes livery, essentially, the Mercedes livery, as you got the pictures on some of the other drivers, but... Yeah. And then they go full wide at some point. There's a few drivers bogging down too on the grid there, James, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah, but watch here. Look, 4 wide there. And then it goes out from here. Steve Rubens getting tagged.
Yeah.
And then he goes round. They clash. And then, well, nobody else has really got anywhere to go, to be fair. That was Daniel Johnson he tagged with. So it's a tough one.
We've heard from drivers, James, where they say you're flat through there. But honestly, on a race start, my foot would be halfway in the brake pedal at that point, knowing that something's going to happen up the road, which it did.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been flat either. I would have been feathering that going down into turn 1, to be honest, because you just get the idea that something was going to happen. You know, unfortunately, it didn't help that Rubens got a very sluggish start for Skiddy Andromeda, you know, and then it kind of all just backed up from there. And then before we know it, we've got a 4 wide kit situation because Halitsky got a flyer. Daniel Johnson looked like he had a flyer and he went up the inside, and then it was all a bit scrappy after that, wasn't it, really?
You're pretty much guaranteed that a driver's going to have a scruffy start. We've seen all season long, haven't we, with many drivers. These cars are just a handle worth. I mean, even back in the old school F1 days, you know, like a lot of the drivers would sit there. Even, not so much these days, you know, to say, James, but remember how many times drivers used to bog down the start and they'd like not engage the clutch properly. Oh, Dylan locks up there almost. See how tricky that pit lane entrance is. We're going to get a speeding violation for that one. But yeah, you can easily bog down in a race start. And this track probably more so than anything. And obviously, just like that, you're going to see cars zooming by you all sudden, and then you're approaching in a corner with 3 to 4 other cars at the same time, same place. Something's going to go wrong. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, Dylan Gomez comes out on the mediums. So he did go soft mediums. Mediums, he's got to go, mind you, another 27 laps on the mediums, which we are predicting these tyres can do on the medium tyres there. But it is John Silver with Elliot Borg at the moment, closest battle on the track. The hards, if you're wondering why we've got hards already, is due to the fact of this situation. Lap 1, and lap 1. They were involved in a lap 1 incident, and that is what caused the issue. And that's why they've gone onto the hards to get their one stop out of the way and get that run, hopefully, to the end of the race. Biggles, what do we think? Can the hard runners get to the end on hard tyres?
Oh, they could, no doubt. But the thing is, I'm more worried about the medium runners because I want to see how they're going to stretch this one out, because the difficult part of this track is how difficult it is in the first place. You've seen drivers making mistakes right now, and that's allowing like a 1 or 2. Look at this gap at the moment. You have a 3.6 second gap to P1. You have a 7-second gap down to P2. Just like that, going a little bit wide, you've lost 2 seconds easily in this track, and we've seen it before for a lot of drivers. To me, we haven't seen when these tires start falling off the cliff. And if I was kind of as an engineer, I'd be like almost thinking to Nathan or Jay or whatever, go, you know what? Go to hards. Don't even bother to softs, but go earlier to hards, because you don't want to get a situation where your tires are falling off the cliff last minute, where all of a sudden you drop 2 to 3 seconds coming out of a corner because you make a mistake. Hard tires, yes, you will drop, maybe 1/10, 2/10, 3/10 towards the end of the race. But hey, just remember, if you push those tires too much, you've already dropped half a second to a second to 2 seconds by making a mistake. That's a gamble these drivers have to think about right now.
What would you have done?
If I was in the likes of Nathan right now, depending on his gap, I would go to hards. I honestly would go to hards. I wouldn't risk it for the softs. I would go earlier. Look at this battle, but we'll talk about that one in a second, because look at this bobbling big time. Elliot Borg on the back there of the Colombian driver. In fact, ahead. Oh, going through here. That's bold and brave. You think your Beckett's, Mackets, and Chapel and Silverstone are hot, mate? Look at this. This is a hot zone right now here in the middle of France.
John Silver is under all sorts of pressure here from Elliot Borg. Sagar's in the pits as well. Mason Sagar in the pits there, but this is John Silver and Elliot Borg battling away here on your screen currently as they battle in for 3rd and 4th place. Would you let him through?
No, absolutely not. You want to battle positions here.
Battle
I'm just
with
trying
him?
to keep an eye on the faster drivers that we are aware of on the hard tires, and those times aren't really relative at the moment. That's something you'd be looking at the moment too, if you were the likes of Nathan and Jay, to think about that one. I think Steve Rubens has gone off track somewhere at the moment on the hard tires, so that may be something to look at. But keep an eye on the battle, of course, here currently at the moment. Stevie's got a replay for that one, but keep an eye on that battle, of course, between Silver and Borg, because they are on the same tires. I just want to see when the rears start sliding out on them a little bit more, James. That's going to be a crucial point, because we're about just under halfway through the race. Pit stops will be coming soon. Big call, of course, for Nathan leading the race, because I think Jay Smart's in a position where he can counteract it. But Jay Smart, of course, even if he does go on the pit stop, he's not going to know what Nathan's tires are going to be, which is another thing why if Nathan does switch it up, Jay Smart's going to maybe have fresher tires or not. We'll see. But they're going to have fresher tires anyway, but what stripe tire will they have? Compound. Be crucial.
Do we think there's going to soft it, though?
Softs will work if you can bring these mediums a long way. And that's the crucial part. I just want to see how they're handling the cars. Like, if that rear starts sliding a little bit, and it's a difficult track as it is, looking good so far in the pictures you can see right now of Mr. Silver. He's doing a good job. Like, you can see the rears and he's not fighting the car. The car's handling it. He's also trying to defend at the same time, so he's probably going a little bit off the racing line. Also, is burning through his tires a little bit more by defending, as well as his ERS.
Yeah. I just wonder
whether the blinking light. Oh, there it is. He's led
it's a
through.
mistake. No, Silver got a spell on. Silver got loose, and that allowed Borg to come through. I tell you what, Mason Sagar is battling away here with Steve Rubens. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a hard tire too. So this will be interesting to see the pace difference between the mediums and the hards, because we haven't really seen that crucial battle yet. And I want to see this. I want to see the tire difference, because so far we've only seen the medium runners, so the hard tire runners, when they had to box with repairs and they come back out. So they got heavy fuel loads, and they're trying to make those hard tires run to the end. So they're going to be a little bit different in the pace than the mediums. You can see on the pictures as well too. That's not correct, as you know, because Mr. Rubens is on the hard tire.
Oh, here he goes.
Yeah, too deep in that
up.
one. Both of them actually a little bit too deep. And somebody spun in the foreground there. Did you see that?
Jay Smart.
Yeah.
Smart did.
It was Jay Smart. You're right.
Elliot Borg's
Just like
opportunity.
that. Now, this is interesting to see, James, because I don't know if you get a chance. If we do get a chance, we probably won't, because you have to look at the battle between P5 and P6. But I wanted to see how the leaders are handling these tires at the moment. Because I'm seeing mistakes from a ton of drivers here at the moment.
No, when
Now, we'll see Nathan's. Yeah, can you go on board for Nathan for a second? I just want to see how he's handling these tires. He's going very wide a lot of the corners, so you've got to be also very careful with the old off-track excursions. Got a 14-second gap. We'll see how it slips and slides, if he's really pushing or not. Yeah, really using chicanes now, which indicates to me that the tires are starting to fall off a cliff. You can see that his sector times are definitely down. He's lost half a second right now to Elliott, but he can afford that, so not under that much pressure. See the oversteer correction a little bit. This is the time I'm wondering, like, you're going to be looking at box situation here. I would be looking at going hards potentially.
Would you though?
Or well, he has to stretch it out. I'd say to lap 25 or something like that, maybe to go to softs. I don't know, mate. He's got a bit of a window ahead and traffic coming up too. Might get DRS activation from the traffic. Still looking good, but he's not struggling with the car. He's not struggling. He's losing a little bit of time, but he's not struggling. I'm just seeing the overcorrections coming through the corners. Right there. See no overcorrection coming out of the final corner. So, and he's definitely off track. I'm sorry, that's an off track.
It's not.
All four wheels were outside the racing line.
Apparently it's not.
Oh, maybe not in iRacing, but yeah, in F1 that would be totally off track.
Right, well, Lindsay Green has crashed and called it a day.
Yep. Oh no.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Does he save it?
Yeah.
On the racing line, but. Yeah.
It just says, enough is enough.
Trying to keep an eye on the quickest soft hard tire runner at the moment. Oh, Rubens goes into backwards as well. So maybe Rubens is actually on the hard tires, even though the graphic shows mediums. I may be wrong on those hard tires. Maybe not the tire to call. They may be too cold. They may be not grippy enough.
Yeah, turn 5 seems to be the
quiet.
problem.
They're not helping us in the chat, James.
No, they're gone to sleep tonight. They're just sat chilling, enjoying the action with your pop. But don't forget, guys, you can come and say hi. We don't necessarily bite here on the JPB YouTube, only at weekends. I've told you that before.
Okay,
and that was a one-off. That was an Adams family dress-up day, okay? So just...
Yeah, I still got the bite mark on my arm,
well,
mate.
that's not my fault. You gave me wine and I made me, that was the end of it. So there's nothing I can do
gave you
about
McDonald's, mate. The last time you gave me McDonald's, that sugar
can
intake.
You stop? Don't. Oh, I can murder a McDonald's double sausage and egg McMuffin about now. Oh, if anybody's close to Somerset in the UK, if you could drop me in that would be amazing. Thank you so much. If not, well, I'll
if anybody's
suffer.
close to the middle of the Panama jungle, please drop me some McDonald's as well. I haven't had that in a long time, but here we go. 17-second gap there from Nathan to Elliott, and John's still hanging in there about 4 seconds and change, just behind Elliott Borg. How's this going to pen the championship out? We're about halfway through the season too, James. So we got
there you go.
All sorts of scrambling to go.
Look at Jay Smart's tyre compound. What's he gone on to?
Has he boxed?
He's boxed.
Yes, he has. It's hards.
Yeah, he's gone from medium to hard.
All right, we'll keep an eye on his times. Jay Smart may be the very well to give us an indication because he's got free traffic, free air. I want to see if he puts in bank of laps. Do the Schumacher-esque, my friend Jay Smart, because it's the man that won more of this track GPs than anybody else ever on the planet. So 8, I believe. So if Schumacher can do it, Jay Smart can do it.
I don't know, if medium hards would have been the way I went.
James, you haven't casted the F1 races that I've done over the last couple of
years. Mate, I haven't driven the F1 races, but...
You know GT3, you know touring cars, you know every other class on the planet. But when it comes to F1, mate, this is my territory.
Oh, really?
All right. This
really?
is my neck of the woods.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I guarantee you.
Was that the last words I said to you before I kicked you out of the aeroplane?
I got a parachute. It's all good.
Clearly you survived, didn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Join me again here for the LSRL F1 broadcasted live on the JPB YouTube channel with myself, James Parfitt, and Dean Biggles in the booth.
He's
so thank you
flying.
so much. He is.
He's flying, James. He's flying. Last lap's a 14 flat, and he's going quick. He's catching O'Connor.
Well, let's have a look. Who's in front of him?
Oh, no,
Silver.
O'Connor.
Yeah, Silver. Silver's slower.
Yeah.
8/10 slower in sector
Yes,
2.
the medium's falling off the cliff. I think this is a great look at the lock up at the moment at the up the road. That's not actually for racing position. However, that's indication
Big
of struggling
movements.
on the medium tires.
Yeah.
This should be an easy peasy overtake. Good, clever play, racing there at the moment. It will cost Jay Smart. I want to see Jay Smart's quickest time too, because he actually got caught in traffic on that one. But if he's doing 14.38s on the hard tires, mate, everybody else is in the 15s. This is a crossover point. Jay Smart could have been the smartest tactic right now to banker down those hard tires. This is going to be something for the engineers right now for the number one car of Nathan. Elliot Borg, 10 positions gained up into P2. They've got to be contemplating this one right now on their teams. Hey, we need to switch tires. Are they stretching them to the softs? I'll tell you what, they're waiting maybe a little bit too long, because this man at the moment is shaving about 1 to 2 seconds a lap out of everybody else. You gotta be is this a Ferrari struggle mess up there from the other teams or not? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? As you see, he's got another 2 tenths quicker. Nearly 6 tenths in sector 2 over Smart. And we can see how he gets on in this final sector as well. He's going to be coming across the line. Giuliano has been in the pits for quite a while. He's been off track. That could be why. For Anthony Giuliano, not having a good time of it currently at the moment. But what is Smart going to do? He's pulled out another chunk over him as well.
It's a 14-11, James. Now, the only person in the 14s, I think Nathan's has responded that one. So he's got the call up and said, okay, let's see how we can counter that strategy. I think Nathan's thinking about the battle between him and Jay Smart towards the end of the race, because Nathan did a 14.6. Everybody else is in the 15 club or more. 14.4, 14.11 is the fastest man on track, which is Jay Smart you're watching at the moment. And he is absolutely blistering. Remember, he's on the hard tire compound, not the yellow striped. He is on the white striped tires. It doesn't show it in the graphics, but he is blisteringly quick. And he knows it, because he's trying the undercut scenario there on Graham, on Borg, and on Silver.
Well, he's got John Silver nearly 7 seconds down the road. He was at 1.8.
He's got Silver for sure. Yeah, he's got Ezekiel Ball. He's got Borg as well. But has he have Graham?
Don't know.
I think he has, mate, because it's a 24-second pit stop.
I don't think he has.
Oh, it's going to be close, Bob.
Yeah, it'll be close. He's got to nail
That's
it.
when Graham needs to respond soon, doesn't he? Because
The thing is,
actually, Elliot Borg picked up the pace.
Yeah, when you look at the track map, Graham is coming around turn 9. You know, Jay Smart is just coming around turn 2 and 3 here. So from that perspective and that point of view, it looks like Smart is just too far. Get my teeth out. Graham just looks like he's too far ahead at the moment to even worry about Smart's pit stop. I think
you're right. And they've actually
too far.
responded, James, because they now, both of those drivers, done 14.5, 14.9, and a 14.3 for Jay. So Jay's like 1 second advantage that he had on this fresh boots when he came out of the pit stop, and now dropping to about, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. So they're not quite enough. But then again, how much can Nathan and Elliot Borg push on worn mediums, considering how difficult this track is as well, too, because mistakes could be made very, very easy. And I would be very, very scared as an engineer having my drivers push like mad on worn tires. That's going to be another thing. This Carl has had a bit of a crash, I believe. He's back in the pit lane.
Well, Elliot Borg,
there you go. Elliot Borg
is in.
Yep.
So he's going to pass them. We know that. There they go.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to get Graham.
Yeah, I don't think yet. No.
Because somehow it's now gone to 30 seconds, which was a little bit bizarre considering it wasn't that big a minute ago. So I think Graham's going to come out with about a 6-second gap here. Smart's got to push. He's got to push hard. Last time out, Smart was 6 tenths quicker. 1:14.33 on a 1:14.79 for Graham. So he was quicker on that one. So I think
because
that's gonna be
Graham
the
responded.
interesting one.
Graham responded. That's the thing. Graham responded as soon as I think he got the call up there to say, "Hey, J Smart's got some pretty quick pace at the moment," and Nathan maybe saved his battery up. Nathan's actually passed the pit lane, so he's not going to go in this one. We'll have to see if he can push that laps again. Has he saved enough of his battery to push a couple of push laps in? Remember too, James, they go charge your battery up, and you sit there for a little bit, do a couple of slower laps, and then you just deploy that battery and bang, all of a sudden you're in your 1.4 seconds, 14 seconds lap territory, just like that. And look at that gap. So it's 30 seconds to J Smart. I think Nathan still has that pit stop covered, and he's got the option now going softs for sure, but he's got to be very careful on these mediums.
13 laps on the soft shouldn't be too difficult for him. We have picked up on Tyler Gatke here as well, who is currently up 11 places. But there we go. I was just about to say he has not pitted when, well, he now is. So we got Herlinsky, Kostic, and Gatke into the pits. There goes Gatke up, down, and away he goes on to the softs. The interesting thing is his stripes have actually changed on his tyres, Biggles.
What's changed? Well, yeah, maybe.
No, he has.
Yeah.
He went in on mediums. Look, he's now come out on softs.
Okay.
So why is it works for some and it not works for others?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. But Tyler Gatke
You're
went
preaching
in.
to the choir here.
Oh, mate, I don't know. He went in on the mediums. He's come out on softs. As you can see, the stripe has actually changed for him. So that's absolutely amazing. I think J Smart is too far back. 30 seconds. I'm predicting.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm predicting he's going to get. I think
because the
Graham's
last
gonna
lap he
have
was
a
actually
6.
slower as well. Nathan's actually picked the pace up. Can you keep it on Nathan right now? Let's put the pictures to Nathan real quick there, because I want to see how he's handling it. I want to see if he's struggling a little bit at all, James. This is going to be the crucial part of this one. You got to remember, I was talking about this before. Nathan, he's way down the championship at the moment, but I tell you what, after his qualifying performance, brilliant. His sprint race, brilliant. And after this, he's just led everybody. And this is a crucial part of this track. It obviously seems to be lead the race, gain the advantage. Yeah, a little bit of pressure, I'd have to say, early there from Jonas Silva, but then he's gone the pit road. Here we go. Hits us the short mark. Now we know, look at J Smart on the track map. Where is he? Well, he's in just approaching sector 3. I think at the moment Nathan has his one in the pack. But will he go on softs? I'd say so now.
You got to now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drop him there. It shows the yellow strap tires, but that's got to be softs.
Yeah. He's on the softs. So it changes for
and he
him.
come out clearly ahead.
Oh,
here it is.
Miles. Let's see where it settles down after this as well. It's going to be at least 10, 11 seconds. What we got?
Yeah, I'd say 11.
11.
Yeah.
So he managed to hold on to 11 seconds there. Thomas Boniatti here now chasing down Ryan O'Connor. So Boniatti in the orange and black and green. Bull Shift Racing. Where O'Connor is in Shyline Racing, as I got told, and I completely got it wrong last time. But Boniatti has got a purple Sector 1 now on a 22.299. O'Connor's a little bit faster in Sector 3. But this is a battle that could be hottering up as well, as we've got 11 laps remaining here.
And similar tyres as well, too, James. They're both in the soft tyres. So what you see is what you get. Even though the yellow strap on what you're in the pictures, but they are on soft tyres. And they boxed on lap 24, I believe, between both these gladiators. So this is it. It's just pure man machine and El France, bagels and croissants.
Huh?
Huh?
What? Oh, never mind.
Just watch the pictures, James. It's all good.
I am
This is
watching the
legitimate.
pictures.
It's legitimate. Thomas has lost 2 positions. Brian has gained 8. And Thomas wants this one back. He's like, all right, I'm going to lose a position. I'm going to lose 1 rather than losing 2. And deny Ryan 8 positions gained in this race. Because this is it. Like, once again, we don't have a difference between these two drivers at the moment. We don't have This is like you're on this tire, you're on that tire. This is just purely driving right now on the same compound, the same machinery. Of course, they're all in the Mercedes. So, all right, time to shine, boys. Get it done.
Who's going to win? Obviously, we think Graham's going to win, right? Who's going to finish ahead of there? Is it going to be O'Connor? Is it going to be Gatke? What do we reckon?
That's difficult because this track, we haven't really seen the amount of overtakes unless there's been mistakes, James. That's it, isn't it? It's not the classic overtakes, like mistakes like that, lockups. And there's a little bit, Thomas made him a little bit of a mistake too, getting a little twirly-whirly coming out of the corner. That's the only thing we've seen so far for overtakes. We haven't seen the classic, make a run all the way down Camel Straight into, Lacombe and there's classic DRS overtake. You're not going to get that around here at the moment. We haven't seen it. It's just been somebody locking up too deep into a corner and bang, somebody gets an overtake. So it's actually quite great for not that mighty all-powerful DRS overtaking that I kind of just disagree a little bit in Formula 1 lately, of course, because sometimes you're sitting, look at the DRS activated right now, look at that. Not a massive advantage, is it? Look at the lockup once again, but from Ryan. And that is the biggest problem. Not the DRS or the ERS.
I wonder. I don't think there's a lot of DRS
I wonder
here,
how.
to be honest.
I wonder why.
Yeah. I wonder how, how they're going to get on here. I'd be interested to see. It should be a
This is
move
gonna be a run now,
down
James.
into turn 5. He's coming around the outside.
Which will be the inside. If it can make it stick.
No.
Well, if you can go side by side, yeah.
To be fair though, mate, he was going to chop his nose off all day. Oof. Didn't he just?
Like a plastic surgeon, isn't it?
Yeah. Nose job done.
I got some giggles the other day, actually, James, and some other casting toys for like Rocket League or something like that. I think it was even with quite a fantastic Zach, of course, at the moment when I saw the Zach going, well, if they leave the door open, what do, Zach? They get burgled. He said it. I was like, well, thank you for James for that one, my friend. That's your coin term. We have Crofty says it's lights out, and away we go. James says, well, if you leave the door open, you're going to get burgled.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you should coin that one, mate. That's your
Thanks,
trademark.
mate. Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Absolutely.
We're going to try.
Yeah.
As we're on lap 31 here, we got 8 to go. And this is the closest battle on your screen at the moment. Boniatti chasing down O'Connor. As you can see, Graham's out in front by 14 seconds now. Soft tyres, 14 seconds. Oof.
Yeah, he's going to annihilate Jay Smart at that point because he went to the softs. He gambled it. The biggest thing about Nathan is that he kept it on track. He kept it cool, calm, and collective, and that was the key, I think. All Jay could do was put the pressure on there and try to force him to mistake. Don't take it away from Elliot Borg, my friend. 63 machine. Silently gaining 9 positions. Crucial for his championship. So there's a run. Oh, too deep there. And I think at the moment, all you could do if you're Thomas right now is just try to force Ryan O'Connor into a mistake. And Ryan has been locking up a little bit, so it is possible. But overtaking other side than forcing someone a mistake, mate, I think it's almost like Monaco at this point, isn't it? It's like there's nowhere to overtake.
No, I'm just wondering where Boniatti's going to think about getting this job done. Clearly, he's carrying more pace than O'Connor, right? O'Connor's just driving out of his socks at the moment to defend.
But there's no way with the DRS.
Just, the DRS
Yeah.
isn't really even strong, is it?
It's irrelevant. No. I mean, this track, of course, hasn't had DRS since like a long time in Formula 1, so it's not even really designed for DRS. Yeah, see, DRS is activated right here, but it's closed before you even get an opportunity. Almost yet. Oh, no, I'm shutting my mouth right now. That's absolutely an overtake. I didn't realize the DRS would be activated going through a corner. Wow, James.
Well, we know that normally causes problems, don't we? Because at the end of the day, for a DRS activation through a corner, it normally ends up putting your rear end out and completely spinning the car off. But clearly here, we feel
you can't blame us out there in the chat too for not knowing that one, because honestly, Formula 1 haven't been here in a long time, so we have no idea how the DRS activation works around the LSRL driver. Great job there, I'd have to say, from Thomas. He's lost 1 place in this race. He started in P5. He's now in P6, and well, that's a position gained with a handful of laps to go. He's Stevie Ribbons and going
I was
back
just,
to
I just had a
Tamister.
look back. Apparently, he looked like he had. It was said that he'd had an incident, but clearly he hadn't. So that was my bad on that one. I was just seeing if he is still on track, and he was. So
Don't give up your day job, James. Wait, you did.
I haven't really, to be honest. I haven't got one anymore. There's not. Mate, you may laugh, right? But the interesting thing is, I go out of bed, I go and make me coffee, I walk around the corner, sit in my office. That's it. And that's where I'll stay all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh! That was bizarre.
Yeah, Ryan going completely squirrely woolly. That corner, you might have to look at the replay of that one. I think that's just I think Ryan was putting the pressure back there to try to catch the DRS back on Tamas, but that's it. I think Ryan's shot now, 3-point-something seconds changed with a couple laps to go. Can you look at that replay there, James? I think he's just cooked it too much in the corner. Let's have a look. Did the rear slip? Yeah, there it is. Good save. Great save. But, yeah. That chance now of P6. Well, Ryan will have to settle for P7. Long championship. Hey, I'll take a 7 any day of the week.
Hey, you're still going to get points. I think at the end of the day, that's pretty much all what matters there as well. He locks up again. Car number 14, it looks like he's off track. That's Anthony Giuliano once more. Anthony there.
He's a lap down at this point, mate. He's just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You got nothing to lose at that point, if you're Anthony.
No.
Just bring the car home, mate. I do the same thing. As the slowest car on well, you are not the slowest driver, of course. But I'm saying if I was on the track, I'd be the slowest driver. I'd just let everybody pass and just mop up some points, mate.
I think that's going to be the best way, to be fair, mate, for some of these guys as well. You know what I mean? Take some of the points out of it and just try and get what you can. Nathan Graham is just, well...
Can we ride on with Nathan for a little bit, mate? Just see how, from Nathan's perspective, of how cool Common is. Because Nathan's just dominated this track at the moment, mate. He's absolutely owned France.
Don't go quiet, because the damn Redcoat don't like it. He don't like sitting in silence.
No, but come on, Dan. Let us do it for a little bit. I want to hear his driving around. There's not a lot of action on track. Let's have a listen. Over speed, sub gear, braking hard, right on the power. Oh, the chicane. Oh, Jay. It's just like me when you pick me up from the airport and taking me to your house, mate. Like, I got scared when you come out of the chicane like that. Look, did you see how tricky that was? Got to get on the power a little bit, then you have to lift and swing it over to left. But I think something's happened as well too for Ryan and Tyler.
I'd like to think I do a bit of a better job than that.
Oh, give or take. Yeah, you got me there in one piece, man. I didn't end up in a British hospital, so something worked.
Yeah, we survived, didn't we?
Yeah. It's great driving, but look at it. It's just precise. It's good. You can see it's still tricky. It's still difficult. But he's managing it quite well. Did Tyler go have a crash and Ryan have a crash? I'm just looking at the nation here. Daniel's going the pit lane. It's unfortunate for Daniel too after this great qualifying performance. Daniel B. Johnson. We haven't really seen too much in the series.
Let's have a look back at Ryan O'Connor, see what he's been up to. There he is.
He's running in P8 at the moment, right?
Yeah.
You got too deep? Yeah, there it is.
Coming into 5.
Now, is there a collision? I think there's a collision. No. Ooh. Good job there, Ryan, for backing off, actually, to allow...
I'm wondering if that's Tyler has seen that happen.
Yeah, Tyler did, actually, and had to lift. You watch this.
So,
from Tyler's perspective,
he's
going to see that. He's going to react. And in fact, what's even better, and you have to give it granted to Ryan, Ryan actually just cranked that thing in reverse, probably destroyed his gearbox doing it, but allowing no incident between himself and Tyler. So good, great job, Ryan. This is what you get here at Lightspeed Racing League, mate. Sportsmanship. Even when, you're going to yield a position, that's what it's all about.
Johnson's in the pits again.
I think he got some damage, yeah. We've got an incident where Ryan, Daniel made a little bit. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, but that was coming
oh,
out
yeah,
of the
big
pits.
smack in the back.
Watch.
Oh, yeah, cold tires and too eager on the power. That's unfortunate for Daniel, I have to say, because he's lost 10 positions. He did a great job during his qualifying performance and the sprint race. But it's lessons learned, you know. That's what motor racing is all about. Consistency is key, and little mistakes like that. Well, not Ryan, of course, Daniel, you'll have more times to prove yourself. We're only about halfway through the season. As Ryan is now caught back up again on Tyler after a little bit of a boo-boo.
He made an oopsie.
He's got the pace.
Yeah, he definitely has. Coming into that last lap, though, Nathan Graham is coming round, currently turn 9 and 10.
I told you this, so I called it at the start there, James. I said if Nathan runs away, or the leader runs away with this race, they're going to run away with the race, and he's going to run away with the race with 20 seconds gap at the moment as well. So GG's to Nathan, and GG's to remember Nathan as well, my friend. You're going to remember, this is a man in championship standings that's 16th place after dropping 4 places in the last race. He's going to gain a lot more than dropping 4 places after this one.
There is Nathan Graham, takes the checker flag. I'm ahead of myself. Takes the white flag here at Magny Cours. Then Jay Smart and Elliot Borg is going to be doing that behind him.
Get back to Ryan, but yeah, Ryan's really applying the pressure now.
I got there.
On Tyler, he's got him. Tyler gone too deep. Tyler got too deep. Sorry, my apologies. Yes, exactly. So there goes my my tweet out there saying the Canadians are going to do well here.
Do you know what? I'm sitting here thinking Tyler Gatke went deeper than the Titanic.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's a good one. I like that one.
But will you always love him?
Always.
Because I will always love Tyler.
But then, if I was Tyler, I'd be sat in the car with my hand out the window, blowing a whistle. Come back! Come
He's the king of the world, Tyler.
Come back, Ryan! Come back!
You went there, James. We had to go there.
I did. Unfortunately, you can just imagine it now, but we are going to pick up Nathan Graham, who's coming around the last couple of chicanes here. Nathan Graham is going to be your victor in the feature in Magny Cours.
Woo!
Well done, Nathan Graham. Smashed it there as well. Got out in front. Job done. You can imagine Jay Smart now just listening to the music of the Titanic. Come back. Come back. Come back, Nathan Graham.
But Jay Smart likes it, mate, because he's second in the championship, but he's got a hurl of more points there. Jay Smart, boom, boom. Clutched it for the Wells racing team.
Yeah, Elliot Borg in third there as well. John Silver's going to come across the line in fourth, currently coming around turn 14. So let's see how that one works out. Dylan Gomez, Thomas Boniatti, they're also coming down into 14 as well. This is the battle on the final lap of the race. Where's Paul gone? Oh, it's gone round. Boniatti's gone round on the final lap. And that has just ruined any chances he was going to have there as well. Dylan Gomez is going to come across the line in fifth place. The line is right at the beginning. There it is. Thomas Boniatti in sixth in the end. Ryan O'Connor did get Tyler Gatke back and finished in eighth. Gatke there coming across the line in eighth place. Michael Kostick in ninth. And then the last of the runners is Steve Rubens, who is literally trickling over the line.
Come bring it home, Stevie. There you go.
There you go. As Nathan Graham has stopped there, ready for his photograph opportunity, should we say?
Yeah, Nathan, mate. Paparazzi are here.
Yeah.
You deserve it, my friend. You've a flawless weekend for Nathan. He got that baby on pole. He led the sprint race. And he done the feature race. Right next to him, of course, is Jay Smart. 1 position gain there. And you have to give it to Elliot Borg, the 63 machine there, James. 9 positions gained, which is crucial, of course, for Elliot Borg in the championship because he is currently running second. And Jay Smart, of course, that's right next to him, is first in the championship, so it did not allow Jay to get too many points away from him. Unfortunately, the big thing for them, of course, is the big gun in town, Mr. Nathan.
There he is, and there are your results. Nathan Graham is in first, Jay Smart second, Elliot Borg third, John Silver fourth, Dylan Gonaz fifth, Thomas Boniatti sixth, Ryan O'Connor seventh, Tyler Gatke eighth, Michael Kostick ninth, Sean Atkins 10th, Mason Sagar 11th, Steve Rubens 12th, Anthony Giuliano in 13th, Daniel B. Johnson 14th, Carl Herlitsky. Gotta love me, Carl, haven't you? Got it right. Herlitsky in 15th place, and the last of the runners there as well. But these guys are still on the grid getting their photos taken, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, Elliot is there as well. Which way are we going to start here, Biggles? What do you want to do? Back to front or front to back? Who are we going to have first in the booth?
I want to, because you denied me the opportunity of talking to Nathan. After the,
I didn't deny you.
After the qualifying and the sprint race, I want to bring Nathan here because I think Nathan has just done a flawless victory this weekend.
Right, okay.
And that man needs to be congratulated.
Right, you can interview, okay?
All right.
Go.
I'll interview Nathan.
Yeah,
Nathan. Absolutely fantastic, my friend. I'm excited for you. Done a brilliant job all weekend. Okay, your qualifying performance, A sharp. Your sprint performance, A sharp, and then your race performance, A sharp. What a job. How does that feel, mate? You're not 14th, you're not 16th in the championship anymore, mate. You've made your way up there. How was this race?
It was good. Yeah. I mean, it felt good to just have a clean weekend, or week or night, whatever. Yeah, the tires are funny. I thought maybe I was going to hurt myself by staying on mediums and trying to go to softs, but I ended up just being able to conserve just enough, I think, to make the switch to softs and fly at the end.
Will you feel pressure at all at any point? Because I was kind of talking to James about that one, saying, well, you know, how are those medium tires going to handle at the end? Are they going to get a little tricky? This track is already tricky. Of course, everybody was making a lot of mistakes there, running off wide. Jay Smart switched over to the hard tires, I believe, a little bit earlier. Was that anything in your mind there? You had the gap, I think, before the pit stops there. You had about 10 seconds or so. You're still putting those banker laps in, even when Jay was putting quick laps in. You counteracted it. Was that something going through your mind, your team?
Yeah, so basically, when I saw him go to hards, which I wasn't tracking we might do, because I actually didn't do enough practice, like long stint practice, so I didn't know how much the tires would fall off. But when I saw him going to hards, I started watching his lap times to make sure that I wasn't, if he was going to be beating me with his hards, then I might have gone in and done the same thing, just so he didn't do an undercut on me. But I was able to keep laps at least the same or better with the older medium, so I just kept going until I switched to softs, yeah.
And welcome along to the second win of the season as well, too, Nathan.
Yeah, thanks, yeah. Unfortunately, had to miss a few weekends, so we're not really close to the top, but we'll just keep trying to work our way up there as many weekends as we can make it.
Yes, I mean, the championship hopes are still alive. Remember, there's still a lot of races to go. And, you know, if you keep winning races over and over again, the possibilities are there. Anybody like to thank for your absolutely brilliant weekend that you've done here in France?
Just as always, part-time pros, my team, and then my wife for letting me do this.
Thank you very much there, Nathan. James, here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
the
it.
wife.
That's right.
Exactly.
Mate, you've always got to thank the wife. It's the difference.
Behind every great man, behind every great driver is also a great wife or a partner. Yeah.
Exactly.
GG's on that one. Thank you, man. Nathan. Enjoy that victory, my friend. Well deserved. You owned this track, and it's a very difficult track to own, so GG's.
Well, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. It was fun.
Who do you want next, then?
You're calling the interviews now, my friend.
Oh, am I? Oh, right. All right. Well, let's bring in Jay Smart in to the booth. Jay, how are you, sir?
Howdy, boys. I'm okay with that. I think, you know, I wanted top three. I wanted to finish the race. Nathan's kind of part-time and in and out of the points anyway. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result.
You did have a spin, though.
Yep.
we did.
Yeah, so I was fighting that pretty much every lap. I mean, I was getting wheel spin. And every lap, Nathan would just get like 4 to 6 tenths on me out of that hairpin. and eventually it went. And then I was too scared, honestly. Like, I was just driving scared on the throttle the whole night, and I was too afraid to run the mediums, longs, and then put softs on. So that's why I went to hards pretty early, and it kind of just stabilized me through the race and allowed me to finish without any more mistakes.
Well, you did say you wanted to get top 3 when we had a chat earlier on, and you managed second place. That's not bad at all, though, right? It's a difficult circuit, Magny Cours, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy with it, and it was hot. It was really hot tonight too. So it was so loose, especially on exit, on a lot of the corners where you're unwinding the steering through the exit, and yeah, I was happy to finish. I was keeping with Nathan early on, but he was just more consistently quick than me in the low speed corners, and once I had that spin, there was no way I was going to get him, but I was hoping I could chase him down. But I think that desire to push, I think, pushed me a little bit too far on corner exit, and that's why I spun.
Yeah, to be fair though, mate, you were ahead when you got the fresh boots on the lap times, but then as your tyres wore off, he seemed to have got a little bit quicker and was matching you.
Yeah. I put hards on knowing that the people that went long on mediums and switched to softs their tires would degrade quicker, but I did not expect them to come out as fast as they did, and I did not expect their tires to drop off as slowly as they did. And I was getting stressed when I was watching Elliot's time kind of go down from, what was it, like 10 seconds almost down to 4, and then I think his stuff wore off, and he was kind of keeping in between like 4 and 2 seconds. I had to push on a couple laps to get it back up to like 3, and then kind of settle. But yeah, it was closer than I wanted it to be, for sure.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, because we're not used to the tires around this track, Jay, and that point as well too. Because James and I in the booth were talking about, like, we really don't know, and I was like suggesting maybe go to the hard tires. I didn't realize you're going to turn into like ultra softs for like 2 laps and then just fall off the cliff. That's really strange, isn't it, for a hard tire?
The hards actually didn't drop off too much for me. The first 2 laps were pretty quick, but then I think it was more like making mistakes because they wore off a little bit, that I was getting some wheel spin on exit, and the straights are so long and the corners are so slow that any wheel spin really kills you. But the softs that other people threw on were definitely they lasted longer than I thought with low fuel, for sure. But I think, the track temps were going everywhere through practice, and no one really knew which tires were good. And so I thought Nathan was far enough ahead that I wasn't going to catch him on any strategy. I felt like I had some pace over Elliott, and so I just tried something different. And it was definitely closer than I would have liked at the end there. But yeah, tire strategy was interesting on this one. I don't know if anyone else tried the hards out, but I'd be curious to watch the
I don't think so, my friend, but GG's in that one, because you kept Elliot Borg behind you. That was the key at this one.
It was hard, yeah.
So, yeah.
James?
It
was more stressful than I wanted.
Yeah, there was definitely people trying it at the beginning, but they were involved in the incident at the beginning there, mate. But thank you so much for joining me. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, league owners, league admins, you guys in the booth. Hopefully it was a good race, especially with that strategy differential. And congrats to Nathan and Elliott. It's a bummer Matt couldn't be here tonight. I think it would have made for some more interesting racing. But yeah, thank you all the drivers too.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Jay. We look forward to seeing you next week here on the LSRL F1, buddy. So have a good one, mate.
Yeah, you too.
All right, let's bring in Elliot Borg into the booth. The man who finished 3rd place can't be too unhappy with a 3rd there, considering how well the sprint went, Elliot.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. That was my best sprint ever.
Was it?
No.
No, it wasn't. There was 7 cars involved with you on that one, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, apologies to those guys in the sprint. That was not pretty.
No.
But man, I'm not trying to sound pompous, but that's the farthest back I've started in a long time. And that was sketchy. That was super scary.
And just to clarify to everybody out there, Elliot, you gained 9 positions to finish on a podium. So continue on what you're talking about.
Heck yeah. Hang on. Let me pat myself on the back real quick. No. That that, like, I feel like I need to put on my best Carlos Sainz impression, and like that was a tough. I can't even, but like that was a hard race. That was so freaking hard. It was incredibly hard to pass, and you know, if not having to clean my drawers after turn one, having to try and then clean my drawers again after going with John for a while. But that was super fun. Not the easiest place to pass though.
No, but overall it was a great feature, wasn't it? You know, you've done well. You recovered from the damage that you did on the sprint, so you got some points on the board, which was one of the important things I think here in the feature race. You know, onwards and upwards. We go to Imola next week. What are we expecting from Elliot Borg at Imola?
One of my favorites. So I really like that track. Yeah, I actually in any car really like that track. So I'm hoping to get a result that matches my affinity for the track. But think back, 7 places in turn 1. So take that, Seb Vettel.
I tell you what, mate, we better let you better settle down here, otherwise you ain't going to get out of any doorway in your house about now. Oh, your head's just going to be massive with all these praises.
Right, I'm going to have to sleep in the spare bed tonight.
Well, Elliot, look, stunning first place, buddy. Up 9, highest gainer in the feature race as well, so well done to you. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, big shout out to Wilder Graphics, Butt Kicker, all the people that put dough into not our pockets, but into the league, so that way we can come and have fun. That's what it's all about. And Joe and Anthony for putting this on. It's a super great time. Look forward to it every week. So, and to you guys for making it so enjoyable to watch. Even if cars are great to listen to and watch around the circuit, hearing you guys crack up and get after us and make fun of us when we're sick. It's a blast, and I can't appreciate you guys enough.
Well, you will see our best Titanic impressions during this one, mate. So be aware. There was a reference to Titanic, and then it got a little bit scrappy. But Elliot, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. I look forward to seeing you next week at Imola. So have a good one, mate.
Thanks, you guys too.
Well, there you go. They all seemed upbeat, didn't they? Everybody was happy with where they finished. I think it's a tough track. They all did well here this evening.
James, I think they're actually just excited to actually finish this race, isn't it? Considering how much of a problemo that occurred during a lot of the practice sessions, the qualifying sessions, and even during the sprint race. But yep, turn 1 always produces great results around here. And the rest of the race, well, it got really spicy and exciting. Tire differences and all that sort of jazz occurs. And we're going to see that all over again next week in Imola, my friend. And you and I are going to be bringing some pineapples to the pizza and probably get booed by the Tifosi in Italy, but it is what it is. Always a blast. And LS, Lightspeed Racing League, always produces, mate. F1, pinnacle of motor racing, and the pinnacle of a motor racing league.
There we go. Final words from Mr. Biggles. So thank you so much. But as always, guys, it's been a pleasure, and we will see you next week at Imola. I want to give a big shout out again as well, also to Sim3D, who has come recently on board as well. Go and check them out at sim-3d.co.uk for all your sim racing needs of your butt kickers, your wind machines, your button boxes. They do it all. So go and check the guys out at Sim3D as well. So as always, guys, from us up here in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.